You walked up in here, you're talking to my partner, calling him bro. He's over twice your age. You should be calling him sir.
This is 18-year-old Christian Hillman, who has been hit with a brutal reality check.
You're a kid, and you need to grow up, young man.
Sir, can you please stop raising your voice?
No, I will not, because you know what? You are not going to tell me what to do. Do you understand?
I will file a complaint on you.
Go ahead, do it!
In September 2016, a haunting image surfaced the internet. The image of Christian staring into the camera with blood-stained hands. Just weeks earlier, a confrontation would take place, which would leave the victim gurgling in his own blood and with severe brain damage. Now, as Hillman sat in the interrogation room, his spoiled, entitled nature became painfully clear.
Can you give me a double mattress? Can I put these handcuffs on? Can I get an attorney in here?
Get me an attorney.
Bring an attorney in here.
Oh, yeah, really?
I have the right to an attorney.
You do?
Get in here right now.
What crimes has he committed, and what dark path led him here? As we will delve deeper into the case, you will be shocked by the brutality of a mere teenager.
Me and my buddies, we were riding, and all of a sudden, this guy in this truck just pulled up behind me, and he started.
You were on what? What were you driving?
What was I driving?
Yeah.
I was driving the PCR 230.
Okay.
You gotta look that bike up, nice man.
I will.
It's nice, man. But anyhow, the guy in the truck pulled up behind me. He started blaring his horn at me, and I had no idea why.
The guy Christian mentions is none other than 64-year-old William McFarland. On September 29th, like any other normal day, McFarland was returning home to Atla, Michigan from a peaceful fishing trip. And what should have been an ordinary journey turned into a fatal encounter. An argument with Hillman would not only cost McFarland his life, but also leave his family scattered forever.
Let me ask you this. Where were you at when you were riding? This guy pulled up behind you. Where were you at?
Well, I don't know if you guys know the area.
I do. I used to work years ago when I worked the street. I used to work there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But do you know like 52nd and Whitneyville?
I know where 52nd. Where the railroad tracks are there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You're an OG, bro. So I kept stopping. I kept asking, like, hey, what are you doing?
What do you mean you stop and ask? Like you talk to him, or you're just kind of giving emotions?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, what are you doing? He was trying, like, he wouldn't go by me. He just kept riding my ass. So basically, I stopped for a second, and he started getting all mad and getting out of the car and everything. And I was like, I don't want trouble and anything. And he put his hands around my neck. And there was a thorough ass beating after that.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like I was in self-defense, though.
You feel like what?
Self-defense, though, because he really did attack me first.
Okay.
He carefully crafts his words, attempting to paint himself as the victim, a role he's far from deserving. With a casual demeanor, he seems confident that his story is fooling the detectives, but what he doesn't realize is that there were witnesses who saw the horrifying incident unfold right before their eyes.
Could I put these handcuffs on?
No, you don't have to put them on.
Alright.
Those aren't handcuffs. Those are ankle cuffs. You go around your ankle. Hell yeah.
So you're riding the ATV. This truck pulls up behind you, and it's just kind of following.
Yeah, like he turned his brights on. He tried to run me off the road. Like it's a small dirt bike. He pulled up the side and he started pushing me off to the side of the road. Like I almost crashed a couple times. And that's when I was starting to get irritated because, I mean, that's just disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had lights.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly could see that I had lights, but, like, I don't know what he was so...
So was it already dark at this point?
Yes.
It was dark out?
Yeah. Yeah.
You said he wasn't involved in the beatdown, so how would he see when he put his hands around your neck?
Well, he was there at first. But as soon as the fight started, that's when he wanted to shoot out.
Okay. So he puts his hands around your neck.
I kept hitting him, and I was telling him to please stay down before I have to hurt you more. Like, I really don't like hurting people, but he was going to hurt me. if I didn't stop it.
Okay.
So I just had to completely make sure like he was immobilized. He couldn't hurt me. He couldn't hurt my friends.
Your friends. Who's your friends?
Just if one of my boys would have pulled up, like I don't want him freaking out at him either. Like I caused the situation. I take like full responsibility for my actions.
Mm-hmm. So all you did was punch him, and when he was on the ground, you kept punching him.
Yeah.
That's all? Were you punching him in the face, in the foot, in the arm? Where was you hitting him?
Well, I kind of lost control for a second, to be honest with you, officer.
Okay.
But like I said,
So then it sounds like you gave him a beatdown, is the way you described it, right?
Yeah.
And then how did it end? What happened at the end?
Well, he was just laying there. Because I really knocked him out cold because I didn't want him to get back up.
Christian's claims of only punching William are another blatant lie. That night, he wore steel-toed boots, which he used to viciously kick McFarland, leaving him incapacitated. Medical reports reveal the horrifying extent of the attack. McFarland's chest bones were shattered into fragments described as Rice Krispies. Christian brags about being an ex-heavyweight boxer who never resorts to violence. But if that were true, why didn't he call 911?
Looking both ways, I get a call from Christian. All I hear is like frantic, like moving and stuff like that. And I'm like, Christian, are you still driving? Like, stop, like answer your phone. And he's like, this dude's unconscious. And I was like, what? This dude's unconscious. So I'm like, what? So I pull up some more and I see this like truck with its, hazards going off. I'm like, what the So I pull out. So let me ask you this. So you're on the phone with Christian as this is going on? Yeah. Okay. So you call him, he answers. He says this dude's unconscious. And I was like, what? And then I hung up and I put it in my pocket, pulled up to see where he was, because then it was just like a bunch of like muffling. It sounded like he was going like this. And I finally saw the truck, so I pulled up and he was like right there, and this dude's like laying there unconscious. And I'm like, dude! And he's like, dude, he choked me. And I was like, what? And I was like, we need to go, bro. You just knocked him out. Let's go, bro. And he's like, all right, bro, let's go. And he was like trying to like pick up his dirt bike, and like people started showing up, and he started like talking to all these people and everything. And I was just like sitting on the ATV like, what the fuck? And then he got on and we just jetted back to his crib.
Okay.
This friend is none other than Noah Bolowski, the one who snapped the infamous photo of Christian and posted it on social media. The way Noah speaks, it's clear that the incident left him deeply shaken. Despite being Christian's friend, even he recognizes the sheer inhumanity that Christian unleashed that day. His other friend will also agree that Christian indeed went too far that day.
Were you there when he took that picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on the porch.
Do you know why he had him take his picture?
No.
Did he ask him to take his picture?
No.
Did Christian ask him to take it?
No. I'm not really sure. Like, the picture was just taken. I think he just didn't even say anything, just took the picture.
Okay. Did you take any pictures of him? No?
I just want to forget that. Like, I didn't want any pictures of it.
You said you have not had any contact with Christian since?
No.
Via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, these are all things we can check?
Yep.
No contact with him?
No contact.
Okay.
Don't even have his number.
And I don't want to appreciate you're trying to come up with a story that, it was self-defense and this guy grabbed me by the neck, and I don't have the forms with me, but do you realize there was an event at the church when this whole thing took place? You were so angry you did not realize who was around, who was watching, who was listening. So, what I said earlier, and I know you're concerned, you said, I don't want to go, you got to be honest, okay? And I'm not yelling, screaming, I'm being just giving you straight up.
You're being cool, bro.
You got to be honest.
I've
done this job way too long to know, one, you're not giving us certain names because I think this might be your boy, you don't want to tell on your boy, blah, blah, blah. We're going to find out. So that's not going to help you out when we find if it was another couple guy. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But the thing is, you're not being 100% honest, okay? Because there's two sides to the story, okay? One is yours. 2 and 3 is your buddies. 4 is the victim. So then you kind of look, all right, is the victim story going to match up to your story? But in this case, it's easy because we can take your story out and the victim story out, and we can talk to witnesses who don't know you and don't know the victim. So for a case like this, it's simple. I mean, we just talk to the witness. What'd you see? What'd you hear? Who did what? Who did what next? It's better than catching it on video because you have witnesses who don't even know you and don't know. It's different if I say, Christian, yeah, we got 2 witnesses. Well, who are they? Well, it's the victim's cousins. Well, then that doesn't make sense. Of course, they're going to say, you did this. These are church folks just leaving a church, driving off, and witness this whole thing go down. And you guys didn't realize that they're standing watching this thing go down. They watched what you did, what you guys did. They heard what was said and what happened, and that's how we ended up there, is because they were the ones that called 911.
No, understandable.
So your story is not even close to what these witnesses, these poor folks, saw. You slipped up, buddy.
You got a lot growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Get me an attorney.
Bring an attorney in here.
Oh, yeah, really?
Okay.
Come sue the out of y'all.
We're not qualified. I have the right to an attorney.
You do.
Get in here right now.
And you can get
And
one.
when you go over to the jail, and then you can call and get an attorney. Okay?
What the f*** am I going to jail?
You'll find out.
Find out.
You're a big tough guy.
You're a
You'll
tough
find
guy.
out.
You know all the answers, bro.
Y'all some assholes, bro.
Christian played right into the cops' hands, and now they had to break the gravity of the situation he is in.
We're doing a search warrant at your house right now. So my boss is out there at the house. I got a search warrant. Magistrate signed it. So,
Look, I got nothing to hide in my house, man.
I know. I hear you, but I'm just letting you know what's going on. I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm do anything. I'm not making
no,
it
yeah,
up.
but yeah, you keep it on 100, bro.
And you know, there is blood inside of that garage. And
In my garage?
Chris, okay. I don't know what other way to tell you, man. I'm not making this up, okay?
Oh yeah, I know you're not making it up. You're
Inside of your garage, yes. There's blood inside of your garage. Okay? So that's what we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
And we're in the process of finding.
Thanks, man.
Okay?
Oh yeah, I understand.
When Christian hears that the cops are about to search his home, he knows he messed up. Panic sets in and he quickly asks for an attorney again, realizing the walls are closing in on him.
What's going on with the attorney situation?
We don't get you an
We don't
attorney.
get you
You
an
ask for
attorney.
an attorney. That's on you to get an attorney.
Okay, but I'm supposed to be publicly appointed ones.
You don't understand how the process works, do you?
It's not our job.
Well, whose job is it? Because I'm not about to answer a bunch more questions. I know my answer.
We're not asking you any questions, Christian. Then what question have we asked since you said you want an attorney?
Well, I mean, the thing is, he put me in these for absolutely no damn reason. I'm just sitting here cooling.
Okay.
I don't understand it.
You're being detained right now, okay? We're not asking you any questions, and it's not our job to call to get you an attorney. That's not our job.
Then whose job is it?
Yours.
Okay, well, I need my phone to do that.
Sure. You just hang tight, Christian. We're going to get the search warrant done, and we'll kind of decide what's going to happen next, okay?
How can we get a hold?
Really? You guys don't need to contact them. They had nothing to do with it.
Well, here's the thing. You're not running this investigation, so it's not your decision on who we're going to talk to.
Well, yeah, but they're not going to talk to you.
How do you know? You don't know what somebody else is going to do.
Oh, but damn sure I do.
Okay.
Hey, yo, get my attorney, too.
Hey, yo, we don't do that.
All right, well, give me my phone so I can call my lawyer. He about to come in here and get all this up.
It's clear now that he thinks that getting an attorney will get him out of the murder charge, so he keeps acting like a tough gangster and says that his friends will not talk to the detectives, but he is unaware of the fact they already had.
I was trying to be polite as hell for the first thing. Y'all start asking me some questions. Trying to be all nice to y'all. Then old Billy Bad over here thinks she has a bad, she's one bad mother. Play that. And I'm just gonna let y'all know too that y'all not let me see an attorney, I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you. Y'all gonna lose some fucking bank.
Like any spoiled teen, he will now call his parents, complaining about the situation and expecting them to fix everything for him. But it will be interesting to see how his parents react.
You know something's got me super f***ed up?
What?
You wanna know something's got me super f***ed up?
What's going on?
Well, right now I am in the Kent County Police Department. I am chained to the floor and they were refusing me to give me an attorney.
Well, we have to hire one. What do they charge you with?
No, this is the thing, Dad. Like, literally, they will not get me a public appointed attorney, and that's their job.
Because we can afford one. They don't have to get you one until they're raining you.
Alright, well, you're not staying in jail then. I'm sorry. Like, somebody's gonna have to bail me out.
I don't know who for.
Yeah, you damn sure can.
What are you arrested for?
Well, for getting in a fight with that dude. I shouldn't even brought my ass down here. They're trying to pull that good cop, bad cop. That's hilarious. They think they got that shit all figured out. They took some OGs or something.
Christian, hello.
I'm 12. I don't give a f about them niggas.
Christian, come on now. You know, you're letting things work for yourself. Just talking like that.
No, but the only problem, this is what I'm not understanding here, is they will not give me an attorney which is supposed to be present during this time. They have me shackled to the floor. I am not violent. I have no weapons. They have me chained to the floor.
Okay. Christian, I don't know what to do about that. I don't know when we can get you an attorney. It's the middle of the night.
Alright, well, you're gonna have to come putting up with this bullshit. So, like, I'm cussing these cops out. They think they're all Billy Bad. They're really not.
But all this and do is get you in a lot more trouble.
No, I got freedom of speech. I can say whatever the f I want to those niggas.
All right, Christian, you're going to be like that. I can't help you. I can't help you. You're going to just get more trouble.
Alright, well, I need somebody to come bail me out.
Well, if you can, I'll have to call around and see what's going on.
Alright, I'm
Listening to how he talks to his father, it's clear that he's used to having everything his way. This entitled attitude isn't just a coincidence, it's a direct result of his upbringing. Watch closely how he also talks to his mother, exposing the root of his arrogance and sense of entitlement.
Hello?
Want to come down to the police station?
Well, I have the detectives here right now.
Alright, well, what are they saying to you, and what are they searching?
For the clothes that you wore.
The clothes that were? Oh. How you left them in the house?
So they have a warrant?
Oh, they had a warrant?
Yeah. I'm sure they don't want to wear your dirty underwear.
All right, no.
This is not a laughing matter. I know. I'm sorry, Christian.
Yeah, like I'm really pissed. They have me chained to the floor.
They chained you to the floor?
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Why would they chained you to the floor?
Yes. So you come down here like right now and settle this out? So I'm not having it. They refuse to give me an attorney. They will not have a publicly appointed attorney come in here so I can talk with them. And that's my rights.
Yeah?
So they're breaking my rights. So basically, I'm coming back and I'm suing them for everything they had.
Gee, Christian.
Look. I got me chained to the floor.
You're laying on the floor when you're chained.
Yeah. Just come down here.
Well, I have the guys here right now, so I can't leave.
So I need help more. I need a lot more help than what they're doing right now.
Yeah, listen, I can't leave. I can't even go downstairs in the basement or anything.
Why?
Because they're doing a search. Whereabouts are you, anyhow?
I am at the Kent County Jail right now.
Is that the one? Kent County,
Like I go knock on the door, but these biggest happy, so the chain can't even reach the door to knock on it.
Oh.
Yeah, I just really need you down here.
Okay.
So
I can't leave right now. I can't leave. These guys are doing their job, and I can't leave. You know? And my phone is dying, by the way.
really need you to be here.
So, are you at the Kent County Jail House?
Yes.
That's what you call it?
Well, actually, damn it, hang on. I'm up. This is going to be a struggle. Listen, come on. Well, I'd rather not. I'd rather have you come.
I am going to.
You coming down here?
Yes, I am. As soon as I get a chance, I will.
All right, look.
Everything comes down here. And you're at the Kent County.
It's Kent County?
It's not with the sheriff's department.
Like, what's the, precinct?
Kent County Sheriff's Department.
Kent County Sheriff's? Yeah, I'm at the Kent County Sheriff's Department.
Kent County
Bro,
Sheriff's
can you please get this off my way?
And that's our policy.
I understand, bro. Uncomfortable as hell, man.
Yeah, sure. It's not made for comfort, man.
All right, man. Yeah.
Because I do have to plug my phone in somewhere.
Okay, well, I really need y'all to come down here and bail me out.
Okay, I will.
All right, so when am I supposed to be seeing you?
Well, I don't know how long the gentleman will be here. So I don't know.
My phone's on a low battery right now, too, and I'm pretty much...
Okay, well, hang up the phone, and then I'll come down. If they still think that I don't know what he's doing, then I'm going to keep it that way. That way they don't have the time that you left, or the time you came back, or the time you left. So you don't know something.
Christian's conversation with his mom sheds light on their relationship and underscores how much his parents are responsible for his downfall. His mother's comment that the detectives don't know she's aware of his crime and that she intends to keep it that way shows the lengths to which she will go to protect her son. Her misguided encouragement will only worsen his situation, further entrenching him in his destructive path. And now you'll hear his demands, which will confirm that Christian is indeed a spoiled brat.
Yeah, man, I'm tired. I need to go to bed. If y'all think it's going to sell, can you give me a double mattress?
Look, man. Part
here's the deal. We're just kicking it, right? We're just kicking it. You watch way too much TV, dude. Like the whole getting you an attorney, and now you're asking for a double I mean, come on, man. We don't put in requests. None of that happens. It's not real. None of that's real. I mean, if you're locked up tonight, you're gonna get what you get. I mean, we don't.
Oh man, I've slept on worse, believe me, bro.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, I don't get what this kind of facade is. I mean, it's like, no, we don't put requests in for a double mattress and your own room, and this isn't a hotel. I mean,
oh, that's not what I meant, like a double mattress, bro. I mean like a double match.
They don't do that, dude. They just don't. No.
That's pretty whack.
But
Christian's privileged attitude becomes evident during his interrogation. He demands a double mattress and calls his parents, expecting them to fix his situation. His sense of entitlement stems from the way he was raised, and this is a pattern that repeatedly surfaces throughout the case. Driven by his desperation to leave the situation, he calls his mom once more.
Everybody just left.
They did? So do you think you can come down here now?
Are you out?
What?
Are you out?
No, I'm chained to the floor.
They told me that you will probably come home tonight, but they have a lot of questions for you, and they don't know when that will be.
All right. Well, I'm going to have the best lawyer ever there, so their questions aren't going to do.
Well, one thing they said, this one detective guy said that they already know. They already know that, so you could tell them their names. But
you think I'm snitching out any of my boys?
The trouble of it is that they already know who it is.
Watch for I like it.
But they know who it is, so what I have to do is wait for you to call me when the detectives are in, but they're bringing you some clothes to put on because they're going to keep the clothes you got on. They took your boots.
Wait. They took my boots? What boots?
Your blue ones because they have blood all over them. This is not going over well for you at all.
No, not.
Just like you said, you did some serious damage, but the thing of it is I think there's two sides to the story.
There is two sides of the story. He grabbed me by my neck, thought he was all hard and everything, so tried to slam me to the ground. Hell no.
Well, you got his kick short then, didn't you?
Yeah,
now you're going to pay the price because you overdid it.
Good. I mean, maybe he won't fuck with somebody else.
But like the detective here, he just says, he's got to answer some questions. He says he's just got to answer some questions. But the thing is, it is Christian.
All right. The thing is, don't come home.
No, please come home.
Why please come home?
I want you to please come home.
Why?
Well, you don't have to tonight if you don't want to.
No, why you want me home now?
Well, because of everything that happened. They just asked me, well, they're going to let him go tonight. They won't keep him.
Wait, what?
They're going to let you. You'll probably be able to get out of jail, get out of the detective department tonight, and come home. But if you don't want to come home, then you can do what you want.
It's appalling to hear a mother speak to her son who has committed a crime in such a manner. Instead of questioning his actions, she insists he comes home, showing a disturbing lack of accountability and concern. After hours of Christian sitting in the interrogation room, officers finally arrive to photograph the injuries he's alleged to have.
This dude's gonna document your injuries that you got to your hands, your neck.
I have injuries in my neck.
You said he choked you, right?
Yeah, he grabbed me around here.
Right. So you should have injuries there.
And yeah. What I need you to do is stand up right here. I'm going to take some overalls, show this is you.
I'm going to need a little help here first.
Okay, I think that's what you're working on.
The officers, however, never found any of these injuries. Police discovered damning evidence at Christian Hillman's home, including steel-toe boots and blood-stained jeans with McFarland's DNA. On July 24, 2017, Hillman was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 22.5 years to 100 years in prison, with parole possible in 2039.
Yelling at Brent to stop. I'm begging him, pleading him to stop. She kept going. If she wasn't dead right there, she didn't die from just getting ran over.
This is 23-year-old Tyler James O'Keefe, one of the passengers involved in a reckless driving accident that tragically ended the life of 21-year-old Darien Sather. Yet a shadow lurked within this case, something Darien's ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old Payton Thomas Mulryan, desperately tried to conceal from the curious eyes of the detectives.
I'm not a killer. Neither one of those two are. It was an accident.
Whose idea was it to go to the park?
It was Brent's.
While Payton claimed it to be an accident, his friend and the third suspect, 48-year-old Brent Scott Gerber, had a different story about his involvement in the crime.
He was pushing on her and hitting her in the throat, and the dude in the back had a taser, and I'm like, dude, shut that thing off, because it's traumatizing to me.
All three suspects insisted they were innocent, each distancing themselves from the crime. But little did they know, the detectives were already dismantling their facade, one lie at a time, and the mastermind's plan was about to fall apart. Detectives were not prepared for the gruesome scene that they were about to witness on April 4th, 2023, at South Fork Park in Acme, Whatcom County, Washington. The lifeless body of 21-year-old Darien Sather lay right in the middle of the road with her face crushed, seemingly from a brutal accident. The most disturbing part was the fact that, despite the other wounds on her body, it appeared her cause of death was a vehicle running over her head. With the suspects on the run and no solid leads, detectives were grasping at shadows until a familiar face surfaced on surveillance footage. It was 23-year-old Tyler James O'Keefe, a passenger in the car that ended 21-year-old Darien Sather's life. Unaware he's about to be treated as a suspect, Tyler walks straight into the interrogation room.
Well, it's pretty important, Tyler, that you remember some of these things because, like I said, we were getting the information that's slowly coming in with the messenger, the Facebook Messenger stuff, and the phones and everything else, all right? So we want to be able to indicate that you're being truthful, but there's some holes in your story right now that we know aren't.
I'd love to fill it in.
Well, yeah, we've got some information about how you were with Payton. So tell us more about that.
How I was with him?
Yeah.
Well, in which?
We've got some still shots of you in the truck, the white truck with Payton. Tell us about that.
Being with Payton when?
Yeah.
I don't believe that I was.
Well, we believe that you were because you're a pretty distinct-looking guy, and the photos speak for themselves. So.
White truck. Yeah. I mean, guess I'm asking where at, because I don't.
Well, in various different places.
Various.
You and Brent and Payton. So Ken and I have been working this since Saturday morning. So
yes, of course.
Lots of people have called in with tips. Lots of people have given us lots of information. There's as you probably know, video and still photos all over the place, people's properties, and that kind of stuff. So we know the route that you guys took out of there. So we got different people who have offered us their footage from their homes along the way. So we're able to put a lot of that together, piece a lot of that together. So Tyler, we know what happened. Again, maybe if you want to start over, might be the best thing, buddy. Hey, Tyler, let's get something straight. We don't think you did anything like this purposely, okay? Not at all.
I wanted nothing to do with that. But I was in the truck with them, yes. I was not. I was in the very back seat.
Yep.
But I was not an aggressor by any means. And I asked to get the f*** out and walk after we left the scene. And the Brent dude was not letting me out of the truck.
All right. We know you were in the back seat, okay?
I just don't want my fiance to get in trouble.
Well, we don't either. Okay, and that's why, again, just telling the truth right now is the best thing.
Yes, I was.
For you.
I was in the back seat. I guess where are the holes, and just let me. I won't lie to you guys. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
We keep hearing about this taser that's being used.
A taser being used?
Yeah.
No. A taser. I did have a taser, but I did not use it. There's.
Looks like taser.
Yeah, no. The taser was only brought out, and because I was sitting. She's here, on this side, and I'm over here, back here on this side, and all I did was in the air, and it scared.
To scare her?
To scare her, yeah. Well, because she was hanging on, and the dude was starting to speed up fast, you know. But dude, I wouldn't. My old lady has kicked a couple times, and I'm not the type of man to.
What did Payton tell you about why he wanted to rob?
That's still, the reasoning on this is still, that is not anything that I have knowledge on.
Okay.
There's no good reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So did he instigate the contact with her, or did she instigate it?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she hit him up, asking, or being some type of guy to just go around and ask people if you need something. But so I'd assume that she hit him up, and he said, and then he said, yes, we can do that.
Okay.
The whole way, I kept telling them how this is not a good idea. This is not. I have a bad feeling. This is not a good idea. And then Payton mentioned something about how she had just been robbed. That's what it was. Payton mentioned how she had just been robbed 2 days prior.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Did he say why?
No, he didn't tell me why. I don't.
Okay.
Honest to God, I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a decision made between the driver and Payton to do this, but this was whatever I was saying. They weren't listening to me. They were giving me the cold shoulder.
Was it more Brent's idea or Payton's idea?
I don't know. I don't know Brent. It was the first time I'd ever met him, but I mean, he was pressing Payton to continue, we're not going to turn around, and so maybe Payton didn't have enough. I'm not sure. And at one point Payton was saying, no, you know what, maybe not. Let's not do this. And Brent was like, dude, we're all the way up here, man. And because none of us had money. He's like, you're gonna owe me gas money, this, that, whoop-de-whoop. And yeah, I mean, I guess it was.
You guys already there at that point at the park?
At this point, Tyler realizes that lying won't work since the detectives already know that he was more than an innocent participant and chose to shift blame onto Payton for the accident. What comes next is Tyler's shocking description of how they orchestrated the dark plan that sealed the fate of Darien.
Okay. So maybe the decision was made on the drive there to rob her because he knew that she'd been robbed a couple days prior?
Perhaps, yeah, because everything was going fine. The gal got out of the car, and she went over to Payton's window, and they were talking. I think they even smoked a little bit. And
did he ever give her any of them?
Yeah, I saw him pass her a bag.
Okay. Did it look like an ounce?
It didn't look like an ounce.
Okay.
It didn't look like an ounce, and then I think that's when Payton said, go. Okay. And then the driver's like, what? Payton's like, go, go, go. And then the driver sped off.
Okay.
And the gal jumped onto the truck.
Tyler's mention of the driver is the cornerstone of the case, and he will soon be sitting in the same interrogation room, and the detectives are about to discover who the real monster was.
Jumped on the truck where?
So, basically on the passenger side, and then at one point was kind of in the center of the hood, center of the vehicle, and then it was
So she's not on the running board. She's on the hood of the car?
Yeah, I swear to God, this sounds like something out of a movie. And then the dude slammed on the brakes and then kept going.
Okay. Then what happened?
He didn't stop.
What did you hear? What did you see?
She kept going. He never stopped. I turned around and I could see the girl, and she was trying to sit up. Like, she wasn't dead right there. She didn't die from just getting ran over. But nobody would stop. I'm yelling at Brent to stop. I'm begging him, pleading him to stop. He decided to keep on going, and then me and Payton we're both agreeing, like, okay, she's not dead, and Brent's like, no, I know she's dead, I fucking ran that over, this, that, and I swear to God, I almost started strangling Brent there. I was like, dude, she's not a dude, she's not just some, like, I don't know if he's a sociopath or what. He didn't seem to care, he didn't seem to fucking feel bad, and me and Payton were both freaking out, like, and that's why I was asking him to let out of the truck. It's not what I asked for, not what I signed up for.
His story of self-victimization continues on for a while, but what he strategically hides in his role in the accident. Since he blamed Brent for the accident, it was time to find him. Tracking Brent down was almost impossible because Tyler had met him only once and knew only a little about him. He was hiding in the shadows until a police informant revealed his whereabouts. Although Tyler put the name on Brent, Brent is about to reveal a completely different version of the story.
Well, Brent, Ken and I here have been investigating for the last couple of days, okay? We talked to all kinds of different people all over Whatcom and Skagit County. We've compiled some evidence, okay, and we're taking your truck as well, all right? Again, several people have talked to us already, and we've had people identify you, cameras all over Mosquito Lake and Highway 9. So we know that you know why you're here. We just want you to explain to us what actually happened, Brent. You had a bird's eye view of everything, so why don't you go ahead and tell us what's going on, buddy?
These guys had me give him a ride to meet some people. Apparently, something to do with she had robbed this guy or got stabbed, or he got stabbed or some shit, and then...
What was his name, Brent?
Payton.
Payton?
Like, I guess, Payton. That's all I've ever heard. Like, one time, somebody called him. And, so I took him out there, and then...
Took him out where?
To where they used to have the fireworks, Acme Armis Park or whatever it's called. And this car pulled in or whatever, and they, like, sat back kind of behind me. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And watched him in the mirror, so then he's like, just go back there. So I backed up to him, and this girl gets out and goes over and talks to the dude. Well, I was on my phone. I don't really care why or what happened, you know, or what between them. And it wasn't like I was there because I just asked for a ride because they don't have a car or license or some shit. And then he's like, go. And I was like, what do you mean, go? I said, okay. And then she jumped on the truck, and they were fighting or whatever, and I just kept going, but I don't know what happened. It was like, dude, you should have just went when I told you to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know? Well, he jacked her money and whatever else from her. And it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know what was going on. And so I just kept going, and, you know.
Okay. How do you know these guys?
They're staying in a motorhome at my buddy's house. Well, it's not my house. They live in a motorhome too.
And that's where those two are staying.
Well, not two. Just the one kid, the Payton kid. Payton. That's why I agreed. I'm like, okay, I've seen him there a few times. I'll give you a ride, whatever.
So what exactly did he tell you that he needed you to do when you drove him down?
To actually
to meet the girl. And then what did he say he was going to do to the girl?
Jack her money.
Jack her money. Okay, got it. Okay. So and how did this other guy get involved?
They're buddies.
And you know his name?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
he said, you need to drive, can you drive me down there?
Can you
I'll give you some money.
To meet this girl, and I was like, yeah.
I need to jack her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, whatever, dude.
Okay.
Why would you tell me that?
Right. And all you were doing was just driving him down.
Yeah.
You didn't want to hurt anybody, and you weren't looking at anything like that. You were just giving him a ride. He said he'd give you $50.
No, he didn't say amount. How much he'd give me. He said, I'll give you some gas money.
I'll give you some gas money, okay. So you drive him down there. His buddy comes with you. You get down to the park. You drive down and kind of go around that big circle down there.
There's a parking area or something back there.
And then did you fall off onto the side anywhere?
Yeah,
okay.
We pulled off and sat there on the grass or whatever.
And I think you said you didn't wait very long. They showed up fairly soon.
I got out and took a leak and smoked a cigarette, and she was there.
So these other guys told us that you were nosed out, and then they showed up, and then you moved to the truck back a little bit.
They were sitting behind me, and I'm like,
okay.
What are they doing?
So you felt more comfortable with
being.
You didn't want them behind you. You wanted to at least be able to see them.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like pulling guns out or something.
Sure.
No, I didn't want to get.
As far as you know, this is maybe a drug deal going on, but they're getting their money, or Payton's getting his money from this girl, is what you understood.
Yeah.
In an attempt to downplay his role, Brent tries to look innocent and clueless about the death of Darien, mentioning he only offered a lift to his friends. But Brent is hiding something darker than the detectives can even imagine. Brent's attempt to look uninvolved in this crime doesn't go well for him. Backed with years of experience and solid evidence, the detectives start to chip away his narrative until the truth finally slips out.
So she jumps up onto the running board, and then the window is rolled down, or the door was open?
Yeah, she was like reaching for whatever he had.
Okay.
I don't know.
How long had she been in there before they told you to go?
How did she get them? So you said nobody got out of the truck. So did she reach in? Like, was it?
Yeah, they did it all right through the window. But I was sitting there on the phone, and I was trying to just like not even look, because I don't want into your business. That's your business, you know. But I don't remember if he said something about the bong. He was going to give her the bong, and she was going to give him some money, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if she got the bong or if he kept the bong, because I didn't really pay attention to that part. And then he was counting money. Not like out loud, but he was sitting over there going like this, you know.
Money that she'd handed him?
You know, I don't know if she did hand it to him or if he just took it from her.
Okay.
I don't know, but why would she just have it in her hand, you know?
Well, she was expecting something, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Right.
That's what he does.
But he didn't have any drugs with him to sell her. He just took her money because she'd been involved with something.
I think that's why he was giving her the bong.
Okay.
Like to hang on if it was collateral or something.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. So then how long do you think it was that she'd been in the vehicle or hanging on the vehicle before you drove off? How much time?
I mean, while they were standing there talking, it wasn't maybe like he handed her the bong and she smoked off it and whatever, blah, 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 and then he's like, okay, go.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, well, and that's what he was, he's like, he looked at me like, huh, and I was like, well, fuck, do I look like I'm a professional driver or something?
All right. And she's still hanging inside the window at this point?
She was riding on, like, as I was going. I'm like, dude, get off my truck. Like, what the f***? And she was on the running board, and then she wasn't. So I don't know.
Okay. Hanging onto the door like this, or like on the A-pillar? Or?
Yeah, like a fireman, you know, like hanging 100 feet on the running board and hanging on the door, and like trying to grab whatever he had or punch him or whatever. He said she hit him. I remember him saying that. But I'm sure they were hitting her too. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah. No,
so when she was on the running board, were they just? You said they were trying to get her.
Yeah, that dude in the back
had punching her. Were they pushing her?
Yeah, he was pushing on her and like hitting her in the throat, and the dude in the back had a taser, and I'm like, dude, shut that thing off, because it's traumatizing to me.
Detectives are yet to find out if Tyler is lying about the use of the taser, or is Brent wrongly accusing him. Although Brent attempts to portray himself as a witness to a gruesome detail, detectives know better and don't buy the story.
Did he touch her with the taser?
I was trying to drive. I don't know. I didn't ever hear nobody scream or like they were hurt. So I don't know if they hit her with it or not. But
Did you could hear the
what the?
You could actually hear the taser going off. Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he kept doing it when we were driving. I'm like, dude, I had the SWAT team in my house dragging me out of the house and hitting me with that thing, and it's PTSD for me. Don't push the button.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see his casual approach to describing the gruesome death of a person he's directly connected to. He thinks he can convince the detectives that he was just an innocent driver, but a chilling detail is about to take this investigation in a different direction. Additionally, his account matches the details of the murder. Darien did have a taser mark on her chest, but who used it on her is what the detectives soon find out.
Anything else you can tell us that might help us with these other guys? I mean, did they say anything negative about her after this happened? I mean, you said you wanted to go back and check, and they said no, don't go back.
She's fine. Just don't worry. She's fine.
What did you think happened?
And he said, well, if something bad happened or happened to her, well, she fell off the running board. I figured she probably, it would hurt. It wouldn't be something light. And she's like, and he's like, no, she's fine. She was moving or whatever, and those guys were standing. I remember looking in the rearview mirror and seeing the guys standing by or wherever she was.
Okay. So, did Jenny tell you what happened then to the girl?
No.
Okay, she didn't tell you that she died.
What the? Oh. Why? What the?
Whether his statements are true or just fabricated, a confession has been extracted. Brent was the one behind the wheel, turning the life of Darien into ashes. The next step now is to bring the most crucial piece to solve the puzzle, Payton. Brent has been established as a crucial link that will lead them to the central figure of the crime.
That's Payton.
You want to put your initials there?
What for?
Just identifying Payton.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to, because it's voluntary.
If that's where no.
He has that address too.
What's gonna happen? Like what? Am I in trouble for it? Like what did I do?
Yeah, well, you're gonna be arrested. Okay.
So at this time in the investigation, we feel that your actions caused the death of another.
Me?
No way.
Payton Mulryan was not just a random drug dealer who called Darien randomly at a park. Rather, Darien trusted him because he was her lover. She had even listed in a relationship with Payton Mulryan on her Facebook account at the time of her murder. She possibly forgot to change it. As detectives attempt to uncover the secret behind her death, the final thread weaves the whole story together as the detectives discover the person who set up the drug deal.
So why do you think you're here, Payton?
I already know why.
All right. So do you want to talk to us about that, or ask us questions, or just tell us what happened?
I guess I would say I set up a drug deal. The drug deal went bad. Did not know anything else after that because dude kept driving. But I was a passenger.
I understand that. Yeah, we get that.
I was a passenger.
His repetitive statements don't prove him to be an innocent passenger. He instead will soon be exposed as an evil man who had crafted a dark scheme in the shadows.
You don't understand, I didn't even do anything to her.
Yeah.
But I was a passenger. I didn't hit her. I didn't touch her. I didn't do none of that.
I'm not the one who tased her. I'm not none of that. You know, like, I understand where I could be getting charged, but I don't understand, like, why I'm being charged for something so serious.
Well, that's what happens when we have a crime, right? And we
don't know what to do?
Well, no, we figure out people. All right. So we have the circumstances of what we think happened, right? So then we continue to investigate them. And then we arrest one person, right? The driver.
Yeah,
you know that.
Of course, yeah.
And we get his side of the story. So then we go off of that. So then we arrest Tyler, right? And he tells us a totally different story. And now it's your side of the story, correct? We understand you're just a passenger, but we want you to fill in the blanks that maybe we don't know. You know, Brent told us one story.
Brent.
Tyler told us, filled in a little more detail, and now it's your opportunity to tell us what. Okay? That's all it is.
The detectives corner him with the mounting evidence, and cracks in his narrative begin to show. Now it's the wannabe mastermind's turn to face the consequence.
What do you want to know?
So you set up a drug deal with Darien.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you please not say your name? I'm so f***ed up from it.
No, that's okay. Oh, we won't. What do you want us to say? The girl? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's back up. So you know her?
Yes.
From previous?
Yes.
You had a relationship with her?
Yes. Friends, yeah.
Well, I thought you had an intimate relationship for about a month after she got out of prison. Or jail, DOC.
Yeah.
So you've always known her?
Yes.
Tell us what you remember.
I didn't do it.
I know. Tell us what you remember.
How am I being charged with it?
Because it's in the commission of another crime.
So am I going to be charged with the same one?
Yeah.
Murder one?
Yeah.
Why?
Because...
Is it a fightable case?
That's up to you and your attorney. I can't tell you that. Can't give you any legal advice.
Am I the only one?
All three of you.
Payton, he already told you that they already gave their version of what happened. So what he's asking you is for you to basically go through and say, this happened, and this happened, and that happened. Because their accounts are a little bit different, and yours probably will be too. Right? But we weren't there.
It was a drug deal gone bad, that's all it was.
How about the drug deal? What was it for?
Money.
No, I know, but like, what was the terms, right? What kind of quantity?
An ounce.
Of. And how much was she gonna pay you?
$250.
Okay. And whose idea was it to meet at the park?
Brent's. It wasn't meant to happen like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a killer. Neither one of those two are.
Who had the...
He ran her over. It was an accident.
It was an accident?
It was.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to take nobody's life, no.
Right. No. Nobody's saying you're a killer.
I wasn't even driving the car.
Nobody said you're a killer. People said you weren't a killer. You've been reading too much on Facebook, haven't you?
I haven't even looked.
Okay. Your sister's been telling you what people have been saying. Is that what's happening?
A lot of people talking?
Yeah. Is that what you're thinking? We don't think you're a killer. We want the facts. We're objective.
I want to be in charge with a murder.
Well, that's the RCW. For the totality of the circumstances, meaning the actions that took place. All right? What do you think should be charged? An accident and nothing?
Not murder one. I didn't premeditate this. And nobody even... It wasn't even supposed to happen like that.
How was it supposed to happen?
That's what we're trying to ask you. Brent has a different story. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? And I will tell you, if
I
you
heard
tell me
a
your
little
story,
bit of it. Yeah.
and I'll tell you what Brent
He's
told
trying
me.
to say I paid him and all sorts of stuff to do this and that. And
Yeah.
that's not true.
Well, that's what he's telling us. What if it's not true? Then tell us what happened.
So you're in the front passenger seat, Brent's driving, and Tyler's sitting in the middle?
He was right behind me.
In the back?
Yeah.
So Tyler's in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are all three together.
Yeah.
Darien hits you up for drugs.
Yeah.
And you say, yeah, I got some.
Yeah.
You agree to $250.
Yeah.
And how did the park come into play? Whose idea was it to go to the park?
It was Brent's.
Brent's idea?
Brent's idea for the meetup.
But you're the one communicating with
Yeah.
with her over Messenger.
Yeah, but he chose the area.
Okay. So
This wasn't just my idea.
okay. So you're saying Brent chose the park, right? So then you communicate to her, hey, how about the park? Did she know where it's at?
Yes. No, she
Or did
didn't.
you have to
Her buddy
give her-
did. Her buddy did.
Her buddy did?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you have to give her directions?
No, I didn't.
So what happened? The car pulls up.
She goes to the side, I grab the money. Brent tries to take off. Tyler tases her.
So you said
The only thing I did, because she hit me in the face, is I blocked her. I didn't touch her. I don't hit girls.
hang on, she hit you in the face?
Yeah.
Where at in the face?
Right here. She wasn't hard, though.
Oh, is that
More like grab me.
Is that why it's a little puffy right there?
Is it puppy?
Far from remorse, Payton shows concern only for his jail time, a trait often seen in narcissistic psychopaths. Detectives start to play along with his version of the story, and as expected, they find major discrepancies in his version. Realizing that he's about to be charged, Payton starts to crumble.
So you said, so they pull up and did she get out of the car, or were you guys parked next to each other like car to car?
Car to car, but she got out of the car.
And came to your window.
Mm-hmm.
And did she hand you money, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did you do?
We drove off. Tried to.
Did you count it? I mean, did you verify the amount or anything?
No.
You just trusted that she had $250 because she said she did?
Did at any time did the exchange of happen?
No.
Just
There was no.
grab the money and
Yeah.
What do you mean there was no?
There was, but not a lot.
not an ounce.
Not an ounce.
So you guys knew that you were going to sell $250 worth, but she wasn't going to get that much?
Yeah.
Okay, so she gave you the money, and then did Brent just spontaneously decide to take off on his own, or was there a conversation, or?
I mean, in the beginning, yeah, that was the plan.
Is to get the money and then he take off?
Yeah.
And not give her any?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys intended to rip her off. I mean, that was the plan. So Brent took off, and was she inside the window? Did she grab onto something?
She tried to grab onto something. I don't know what she grabbed onto.
What did she grab onto?
She tried to grab onto me, but then she's grabbing onto the door, and then Tyler tased her.
So, and the vehicle's moving, right? And she's on the vehicle. And is she screaming or saying stop? Or you said she hit you. At what point did she hit you?
I don't think she hit me. She grabbed my face.
Oh, like just grabbed at it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you didn't hit her back or anything?
No, I never hit her.
Is she dangling? Is she running on the ground? Or is she standing on something? Or?
I'm not sure what she was standing on the side of the door. I don't know what she was standing on, but she wouldn't, yeah.
But she wasn't getting off?
Until Brent started driving really crazy.
How fast?
So, yeah.
Like 40 miles an hour.
40?
But he kept jerking the...
Okay. And Tyler, you said Tyler tased her at some point during that?
Yeah.
Where did he tase her at?
I'm not, in the neck, I think, or in the arm.
So, I mean...
And that's when she fell.
Is when she got tased?
When she started getting tased, he tased her for a good minute.
And so when she got tased, she fell off, you said?
Yeah. Took her a while, but yeah.
So when she fell off, what happened? Was Brent still driving? Did
Brent
he stop?
Just kept driving. I was like, dude. And Tyler's like, dude. And he's like, nope, I'm out of here. He actually almost crashed leaving out of that place because he was going so fast.
Okay. So when she fell off, what happened? Did Brent stop?
No.
Did he hit the brakes?
No.
How did she fall off? I mean, she's hanging right inside your window.
She got tased and then she just fell off. Well, he kept jerking and then she fell off. This is pretty serious.
It is pretty serious.
He realized that he was playing with fire for far too long and has ultimately been burnt. Yet he's only concerned that if his actions are proven to be premeditated, he'll be facing a significant punishment.
Not gonna lie, it's pretty serious.
I just don't understand how it could be a murder one. Because I didn't premeditate it.
Do you want to tell me? Well, there's a funny little law called the BART felony. Okay, burglary, arson, robbery,
and kidnapping.
So it's automatically a murder one.
Well, when people die in the commission of those, it kind of amps it up.
Commission of a robbery amps it up to a murder first.
It's the rest of my life.
And since your robbery was premeditated, it was more than a moment in time where you guys were planning the robbery. Yeah, it bumps it up to that.
It's the rest of my life.
Yeah.
The confession of all three came out, but with a bitter compromise. The most shocking were the plea deals that reduced first-degree murder and first-degree robbery to first-degree manslaughter, which lowered their punishment. Even worse, the prosecutors couldn't prove it was premeditated. Payton was sentenced to 13 years in prison with 3 years probation on October 30th, 2020, the same day Brent received a 9-year sentence. Just 2 months later, on December 10th, 2020, Tyler was sentenced to 9 years behind bars as well. 6 others involved were also arrested during the investigation. 29-year-old Tiffany Mulryan and 35-year-old Cody were arrested for hiding Payton Mulryan and escaping the arrest. 29-year-old Zachary Hartness, Kimberly, and 28-year-old Swent were arrested on April 10, 2024 for assisting in the crime. Even though the culprits received their sentences, the community and Darien's family were left unsatisfied with the punishment.
At some point while you're on the phone with your sister and walking around the woods, did you find something?
Yes, I stepped over a log and found the remains.
And specifically, when you said remains, what did you see?
Specifically, I found a human skull.
The community was paralyzed with fear when 22-year-old police officer Miles Bryant, entrusted with their safety, was accused of murdering 16-year-old Susanna Morales. Her remains were discovered over 20 miles from Norcross in a forested area on February 6, 2023.
Now, he signaled you, and when you walked over there, what did you first observe?
There was a Glock 19 handgun underneath some pine straw.
Miles Bryant's firearm was discovered near the site, linking him to the case. After his arrest on February 13, 2023, several women came forward, accusing Miles of stalking and breaking into their homes.
I was shocked. I felt like it could have been me because he was the person at my door coming and unscrewing my knob and kicking it down and stuff like that.
This screen grab of a man in military fatigues from October shows the first time Bates says a neighbor's camera recorded him at her door. She says 2 other videos from December show him back there again, covering his face and pulling on the door handle, then again knocking.
The community was left in shock after a police officer, once seen as a protector, was charged with a horrific crime that forever changed the life of the suspect.
On July 26th at approximately 6 p.m., we know that Susanna Morales left her home on Santa Ana Drive in Norcross and walked a short distance to the Sterling Glen apartment complex on Indian Trail Road. There, she met with her friend for about 4 hours, and at about 10 o'clock, she began her trek back to her house. We know that between 10 and 10:30 p.m., Susanna had an interaction with an individual and ultimately was not seen or heard from again.
This surveillance video captures the last moments 16-year-old Susanna Morales was seen July 26th. She was walking home near Singleton Road and Indian Trail Lilburn Road after visiting a friend.
Something happened in between the place that we got the camera footage from and our neighborhood, and that's like a minute apart. So something happened in that little minute, and we just haven't been able to figure out what happened.
Jasmine defended her sister when the police suggested Susanna might have fled home.
So we know that she's not out there because she wants to be. She will never do that. I mean, it's been over a month. It would have been like, so she would have contacted like her boyfriend, my mom, me, or at least. It's frustration of not knowing where she is, not knowing anything, you know? Like, all I ask sometimes is just, I just want to know where she's at so I can get her.
This case was immediately assigned to our Criminal Investigations Division, who worked diligently on this case and followed up on a number of leads and tips. However, those leads and tips did not come to fruition. We know that on February the 6th, a citizen who was walking in the area of Drowning Creek Road and Highway 316 happened upon skeletal remains. The Gwinnett County Police Department sealed that crime scene. The Gwinnett County Medical Examiner took custody of those remains, and they were positively identified as having belonged to Susanna Morales. The following morning, February 7th, we brought out a large contingency of police personnel and conducted a methodical and meticulous search known as a grid search. And during that search, we located a firearm that had been reported stolen on July 27th. This is the same day that Susanna was reported missing. That firearm we traced back to a 22-year-old former Dorville police officer named Miles Bryant. Bryant then became a person of interest in our case. We continue investigating, and on February 13th, we secured warrants for concealing the death of another.
Miles Bryant was promptly called in for questioning.
I just play basketball, sorry. Nah, you get it. Man, we've been all over this complex.
Oh, man, you Dorville?
Yeah.
How long you been with them?
2.5 years now.
You like it?
Yeah. So, yeah, when she first was missing, I was talking to the neighborhood team, stuff like that. They didn't really know anything. I don't really get too much watching the news, and my girl used to stay here, literally just moved out, and pretty much it. Yeah. Nothing. What are those neighborhood kids saying? I haven't talked to them in a minute, but when she first was missing, it was like they was just with her, and they was joining on each other, or something crazy. Yeah. I haven't heard anything actually. Like me and my girl was talking about it, stuff like that. So like it's just weird. They said she was walking home, and then she just, you know.
And that's what we're just out here asking questions and stuff. Like how many calls do you get like being courteous? None of us are courteous.
No, we get like. It depends. Like I get stupid calls like noise complaints.
Yeah, we get
noise complaints. And you have to come out and handle those, or sometimes. Sometimes I come out. Sometimes I try to get West Side guys. Come out, stuff like that. Sometimes I ride around a patrol. You do a lot more than some. I worked down in the South Precinct where I started, down in like Stone Mountain, and man, there was one courteous officer. He wouldn't do a thing. Like he was calling us for every little thing, man. It was ridiculous.
All right, so we just got some questions. We got to run over like some stuff. It seems like you're courtesy here, so you know kind of things what's going on.
Well versed in what's happening in the complex.
So you got some time for us to come up to our headquarters and just talk about what you see on a daily basis and stuff like that.
Yeah. That would be today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now? No. I was actually finna head out.
Where are you going?
I have to go meet my girlfriend and I have to work later.
Okay.
Will I be out by the time work? Or
What time?
4.
Okay. Yeah, it should be. I mean, like I said, we just got some questions that courtesy officer between you and the leasing office. You guys probably get calls all the day, and we're literally talking to everyone here. So we're just trying to document we got no lease, man. We're just trying to document everything. That's all we are.
No problem.
Okay.
Do I come with y'all? Can I drive there?
We'll drive you, man.
Yeah, we'll take you up there.
Yeah, you don't gotta waste your gas or anything and all that stuff.
County gas, man. Can I call my girlfriend up there right now?
We'll call her once we get up there, okay? Right now, we'll just go up there. You got any guns or anything on you
No,
right now?
I don't.
You don't? No. Okay, can I pat you down just to make sure?
What's going on, man?
You're good. It's our policy, man. We just.
I know how this road is. Right.
Yeah, you know. You know how it is.
You know that we don't want to get our balls busted with the GDM and everything.
All right. You can get up front seat, all right, man?
In this particular instance, when you picked up the defendant, did you observe any manifestations that you just described that you might term, as a detective with the experience, signs of nervousness?
Yes, sir.
And would you explain what those were?
So almost immediately when we began talking to Mr. Bryant, his hands were almost uncontrollably shaking. His breathing was elevated. You can see his chest rising and falling. And then while we were in the car on the way, while we were continuously having a dialogue, he kind of leaned his head up against the side of the car and attempted or tried to take a nap.
The investigation is still ongoing, and if there's further charges in the future, those will be known. As of right now, it's still early in.
So you said you worked at Forsyth?
Yes.
So how long did you work at Forsyth?
Maybe a year.
Okay. You go to school or anything? Like college?
I thought about it, but I want to get working, so.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
Me?
Police department?
I want to get like a crime suppression team, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
like lead it?
Yeah.
Nice.
That probably goes, not lead us, you know, and then probably goes like CID.
Okay.
Detective.
What kind of CID stuff you want to do?
We just have general CID. I don't know. I know it's not breaking up, stuff like that.
City agencies do that.
I want to do like maybe like burglary. So like that. I hate people who steal, you know.
Yeah.
I like these.
Okay. So I know that your gun was stolen. Do you know if it was located or anything yet?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't run it yet. We probably need to check that, see if it's still. But they would have called you.
I can't find my wallet. My holster's there. My gun and holster is never separate. You know, we the people can still holster. If I take it, I take the holster. I don't carry it free. So that's definitely missing. You want me to get a serial number for you real quick? If you don't mind. Yeah. Sorry about that. And if you run my tag, I'm the registered owner. I don't have my wallet, so I have my ID on.
No, that's fine. Do you think your wallet was in the truck as well, or?
I think so, because I mean, I didn't. The pants I had on yesterday, I took it in the house, looked through all the grocery bags there. I only went in the house, and I came out here and I ran around in there, but I'm the courtesy officer. And then last night, when my girl got back from, we did something, we came back. I drove around a little bit, and I needed to do patrol anyway. I drove around a little bit, see if I could find it. I didn't see it. It was dark in a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, I'll list in the truck just to say it's on our report.
Yeah. I don't really care about, the detective stuff like that. I just want to get on GCIC at least some purpose. Get caught on the side of the road with it,
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Did in your call with Mr. Bryant, he make any statements about how he wanted you to handle or investigate the report?
He stated that he just wanted the gun listed as stolen and that he didn't really want detectives looking into it.
Based on your training and experience with Gwinnett County Police Department, what were your thoughts when you heard that? Is that normal?
I found it a little odd that we had a serial number for specific property that could be returned to him, but he didn't want any follow-up done with this case.
Did you know her at all, Morales? Nothing? Nothing at all. Never saw her like playing basketball or anything with the other kids? Never. I didn't recognize her at all. That is crazy.
However, Alyssa Marvin had a different perspective to share.
Had you ever had any personal interactions with the defendant before Susanna disappeared?
Yes.
And can you tell us what those are?
So there was one time, there was multiple times he would drive by and, he'll say hello and everything to everyone. And there was one time we were at the pool and it was me and Kelly. Susanna came after, towards the end before we left, but we were there at the pool and he came with his backpack and he had a drink with him and he had little shot cups and he had edibles and stuff. And he asked how old I was, and then when I told him my age, he still wanted to talk to me but didn't talk to me because of my age. So he knew not to drink with me, but he wanted to drink with me before he knew my age. But he still offered the edibles. But then that was the interaction I had with him that night. And before we left, I believe it was the same day, We wanted to order pizza because, it's a hot day outside. Someone wants to eat. We wanted to eat, and we was going to order pizza. He offered us to give us a ride to get pizza, but we said no because we're underage, you're grown, so we said no to that. We ordered pizza. We went home about our day. That was like the one, like I could say face-to-face interaction, full conversation.
Since that time, our criminal investigators have been working this case continuously, and we have reached a threshold to where these charges have now been upgraded to felony murder and kidnapping charges.
Miles.
Yes.
This is where we're at, okay? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Your phone records are there. You make 2 phone calls 3 hours after she's last seen on camera. And your gun is found right there as well with your phone, where those 2 phone calls are placed. Help me out.
I understand where this is coming from.
No, I'm saying, I know you do. Just help me out a little bit.
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're thinking, but no.
What would you think?
You think that's something to do?
No, I said, what would you think?
Oh no, I get that part, but now my heart's beating. It's like, whoa, I get that. That's almost like, hey, stuff like that. But no, I never been like that, I would never do something like that. I was actually on the phone with her, 2 phones, her and my side chick, like that, and I'm talking to them about stuff. That's it.
What's your side chick's name?
Avian.
That's the one that lives.
Austell area.
You get chased around by your girlfriend and then call your side chick to decompress.
Yeah. And then I talk to my girlfriend and we end up meeting and stuff like that.
So the phone records put you literally right there, and it's not your personal phone. You call her on your work phone.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
I think my personal phone was dead.
Okay.
But I have both their numbers. I just need to calm down.
It shows you in the woods.
In the woods? I never left my show. I don't think I was in the woods.
Cell phone data placed Miles near the location of Susanna's remains on the night she disappeared. Records also indicated that his phone returned to the area later that morning, about an hour before he reported his firearm stolen.
My DNA or whatever.
We've done that. Soldier to soldier, cop to cop.
Yeah.
I told you I've looked into Susanna.
Yeah.
I know what kind of friend she had. I know what she did, and I know how she was. Basically, we know you were there, but we need to figure out why and what happened. I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't. You weren't brought up here in handcuffs or anything.
Yeah, no.
So, and I have your back. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like family. You know what I'm saying? We're all family here. I gotta figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Because there's no arguing if you were there, if you weren't, we know you were.
Right.
So we have to, I know that it was more than you were talking to your girlfriend. There was movement around there, so that's what we have to cover right now, okay? Tell me what happened, please.
I don't know. I literally was with my girlfriend, on the phone with my girlfriend, and that's it.
During testimony, Miles's ex-girlfriend, Abion Smyer, contradicted his story of that night and pointed out suspicious scratches on his truck.
In this case, I called the cause of death undetermined due to decomposition with skeletonization. I believe if I had had the intact body, I could have come up with a specific cause of death, but I'm limited based on what I have. The body is too decomposed. All I have is a skeleton. Because the circumstances, again, young female, this isolated area where it's far removed from where she was last known to be alive, and no personal effects, no clothing. As a medical examiner with 30 years of experience, if I were to see an intact individual at this type of a scene, first thing I'm going to think of is some type of homicidal violence, specifically some type of asphyxial type component, strangulation, suffocation, chest compression, things of that nature. Because if you have a nude individual, nude or partially nude, that better be, as a medical examiner, that better be one of the first things you're thinking about.
Though an autopsy couldn't be performed to prove sexual assault, Miles's actions were sexually motivated. Detective Angela Carter testified about her findings from Miles's search history.
I found photographs of him looking at the media coverage of Susanna that had the pictures attached to them.
All right, now 396, what are we looking for here?
How are you ID'd by dental records?
And when did this search occur?
February 9th, 2023 at 4:04 a.m. UTC time, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 11:04 p.m.
All right. How long after the defendant searched for the camera footage from the Georgia Department of Transportation, and I'll try to put them both on the screen here, did he search for how was somebody identified by dental records?
A little over 10 minutes later.
And then lastly, it says record number 404. What is that search?
Gwinnett County teen found.
Michael Jones, a fellow inmate of Miles in prison, also testified against him.
Okay, and what conversation did you have with him about some of the details of what was contained in the discovery?
After a few days, after he read it, looked over it, he come back out and he said, "Well, I don't think I'm not gonna get charged for this. They ain't got nothing against me. There's no. It says right here plain. He says it says right here plain. There's no blood, no semen, no nothing. They can't. They ain't got nothing against me."
A former classmate, Alicia Bates, provided testimony that shed light on Miles's character.
I've known him since 5th grade. We grew up together.
She believes that Miles broke into her home.
Well, my neighbor told me that she saw Miles come into our community and listening to my door when I wasn't home and just trying to see if I was home, messing with my doorknob and stuff. She told me, and when she showed me the video of him, it was all alarming.
Then did you go out and get a firearm because of him?
Yes.
She stated that Miles became so aggressive that she feared for her life and reported him to his employer, the Doraville Police Department.
I don't think they took the matter serious because he was a cop. However, I do feel like if they did, Susanna could still be alive.
She claims this stalking occurred both before and after 16-year-old Susanna Morales went missing in July.
He was capable of it. When the officers asked me why he was trying to break in my apartment, I told them that I was scared that he was trying to break me.
Alicia Bates now believes her childhood friend, former Doraville police officer Miles Bryant, stalked her at her Snellville apartment last year. She believes this Ring video her neighbor gave her is Bryant, as he lurked around her door, trying her knob, wearing a hood on his head. She says he even broke in one time when she was not home.
Okay, Ms. Bates, we were talking about the last time on December 12th, 2022, the day after you had called police, and you said you saw him by your dumpster trash area in your complex.
Yes, ma'am. I saw him. I was walking to my car. I felt like somebody was watching me. It was pretty late, so I was alert. It's pretty dark.
Did you see a vehicle?
I did. I saw a F-150 parked by the dumpsters with a dark-skinned male standing outside with glasses on.
Okay, and what did you do when you saw that F-150 in the mail?
I hurried up and got in my car and locked the doors and called my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend.
And did you leave your complex that night then?
I did.
Did you, after then, that was in December of 2022, did you ever initiate any more contact with Mr. Bryant?
No, ma'am.
Did you hear from him any other time?
No, he kept texting me, but I never responded.
And again, since knowing him from 5th grade to today, did you guys ever go on a date?
Never.
Did you ever sleep together?
Never.
Did you ever express any interest in him?
Never.
Would she have gone there while y'all were talking, while you were driving around?
I don't know where she went. I think she was driving around too.
Okay.
Miles, I'm getting frustrated because I feel like you think I'm lying to you.
No, I believe. Really.
Because maybe I am wrong about you. Maybe I'm wrong. You also tried to get into a girl's apartment off Annistown.
I did not do that.
You didn't? Oh, your phone was just casually there too?
No, they had a whole investigation about that. I was there, but I didn't try to break in her apartment. She lied.
So what was you trying to do?
I was talking to her. Like we was free. Like
You didn't try to open her door?
Me and my sergeant.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't try to open her door?
Yes.
Okay, I know. Why was you hiding your head?
It was raining.
Oh, it was raining. Where was your PC? You was wearing a gray jacket.
Yeah, because
that was a violation of
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Because you didn't want anyone to see your hat because it has your name on the back of your head. Okay?
No, I didn't have a PC on, I swear.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want people to see your name.
No.
Yes.
She knew exactly where I was. She knew where I was.
She didn't want you there.
She didn't ever tell me that. She never told me that.
Did she invite you over?
No.
You didn't. So you just show up to this girl's apartment and try to break in. That's how it looks, right?
Yeah.
So casually, you're just the victim in all this. You just casually be in all these like victim situations where you're just casually in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what you're telling me.
No, my sergeant did a whole investigation.
You gotta just take a minute, take a breath. You gotta stop.
Put me as a suspect in this.
It's okay. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. We need your help. We want to give this family closure.
I understand that.
Your gun's there. Your phone puts you in the woods. What can we give this family?
You're not a bad person, Miles. This is not just an effect on you, this is an effect on all officers everywhere.
I know, I'm not, it's not me. It's not me.
If you were me, what would you do?
I understand that, I don't know.
Tell me, what would you do? Tell me.
Investigate some more stuff like that, I don't know.
Like what?
I know you did your thing, you did the due diligence. It's not me. Nothing to do with that part. You can ask my girlfriend. Nobody was with me. When she was with me, even before all that nobody was with me.
How do you explain your truck being parked in front of Susanna's house a month after she went missing?
What you mean?
So do you guys use Vigilant? You know what Vigilant is?
Mm-hmm.
So it compiles, you got LPR cars?
Yeah.
So it takes every LPR car, and it takes all the LPR cars from like the repo people,
mm-hmm.
and it puts it into Vigilant, and we can research that.
Mm-hmm.
So doing our due diligence, your truck is sitting outside Susanna's house.
Where does she live? I sit outside her house. Where does she live? Can you show me my truck? I can't.
Yep, sure can. No, I can't. It's dead. Pretty sure I took a picture of it though.
Like just sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where she lives. God.
It's not a question about if it's you or not, because we already know that.
No.
But listen, it's a question about what happened, okay?
Sitting there.
It's a question about if you are a cold-blooded killer or if you made a mistake. That's literally where we're at right now.
Susanna's family attorney, Alex Northover, states that the Doraville police failed to take timely corrective action.
There were multiple indications that this individual presented a danger. There was a previous allegation of stalking.
Alex Northover asserts that the city of Doraville should be held accountable, adding that he communicated with officials during the ongoing criminal and civil investigations.
Take responsibility for their role in this tragic incident and take measures to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
He suggests it's time to reform the process of recruiting new officers.
Increased hiring, screening procedures, adequate training.
Yet, more startling revelations are on the horizon.
While he was on duty and in uniform, asked her to utilize her cell phone because he needed to log into his bank. And instead of doing so, he accessed her videos and sent himself videos of conducting sexual activity on her phone. Is a danger to women in this community. He is has not upheld the oath that he took to protect and serve both the citizens of Doraville and the state of Georgia.
The jury viewed police body cam footage documenting Miles's interaction with a girl who returned home after being reported missing by her family in May 2022.
Something was happening to you. We're doing a rape or a missing person, then we find your body out there in the woods. Then what? Because I know you're probably strong and you're smart and you know say no to strangers and stuff like that. Nowadays people don't care. People are my size, big, and just come snatch you up. You can scream, you can shout all you want. They will throw you in the back of the van and go take you, and your parents will never see you again.
This badge is supposed to stand for something. It's supposed to stand for the obligation somebody takes to serve and to protect their community. Every officer takes that sworn statement. It's on the side of police cars. They are to serve and to protect. That flag, the United States flag, means something. When somebody in the National Guard takes an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the laws of our country and the laws of the state of Georgia, it means something. But to the defendant, it meant nothing. He took those oaths, and as you've seen through the trial, violated them time and time again. He didn't serve, he didn't protect, he abused. He took his power, he took his badge, and he used that to violate the law. He used that to murder. He is a cop-turned killer.
Do you personally, Miles Bryant, want to testify or not?
No, ma'am.
The defendant has freely and voluntarily decided not to testify with a complete understanding of his rights. Has the jury reached a verdict? Okay, if you'll hand it to my bailiff. State of Georgia versus Miles Bryant. Indictment number 24B00156-4. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, found the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 3, kidnapping. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 4, criminal attempt to commit rape. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. Count 5, false report of a crime. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
Defense attorney Tracy Drake addressed the press following the trial.
Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what you said during your opening and your closing here when you talked about the jury? You warned the jury they were going to hate Miles Bryant. You warned them that they would think he was cold and callous. And you said you didn't even like him much yourself.
Well, just because of the family not knowing for 7 months. You know, that's awful. I mean, I'm a parent, any parent, you know, I cannot imagine what she went through. And Miss Maria was very gracious to me. I think y'all heard me say I don't like to approach the family, but, you know, I did give her a hug today to express my condolences to her because I know that must have been horrible.
Last question. What do you think the most damning piece of evidence the prosecution put forward that pretty much sealed your client's fate?
The Life 360. The Life 360. Of course, some of the other evidence was damaging, but I don't think if they had the Life 360 that they would have been able to really go forward.
Not the gun in the cell tower.
Not, because I think without the Life 360, it would have made it even more difficult to show arguably where she was picked up, where she went, the crash alert. I think all of that really bolstered their case to show that obviously that he did something to her.
It took over just 5 hours to reach a verdict, a moment Susanna Morales' family had been waiting for nearly 2 years.
All we ever wanted was justice for what happened to her. I mean, nothing will ever bring her back. And to this day, I still hope that I'll see her again.
I just hope that after today, you and your family can find some peace. That is what I wish for you. Hopefully, you will receive some peace now.
I killed somebody. I killed somebody.
This is 16-year-old Dylan Murray, who can be seen visibly shaken as he learns of the death of his friend, 15-year-old Giovanni Diaz, an untimely tragedy for a boy whose journey had barely begun. But on March 19, 2018, just hours earlier during a 911 call, Dylan's father confronted him. In a frantic moment, Dylan repeatedly mentioned Giovanni, claiming his friend had tried to kill him and that he might have killed Giovanni in self-defense.
Dad, help! Gio tried to kill me, and I think I killed him.
Dylan cast himself as a terrified boy, acting out of fear and desperation. Yet as detectives dug deeper, a disturbing truth began to emerge. Was Dylan truly overcome with regret, or was this all part of a calculated attempt to cover his tracks?
What happened last Wednesday? You went to Zach's house?
Everything like normal, but when I was leaving, I quit. I had stopped hanging out for Gio for a long time. And then I saw Gio, and Gio was like, hey, Monday, for sure, make sure when you get done with your studies, text me. And we're going to burn. So I had on me, obviously.
So was Gio at Zach's house as well, or was it when you were leaving?
He was just walking by himself. And when Gio asked me that, I didn't know that everybody always comes out and says, hey, you want to smoke in the woods? But he was like, and at the time I didn't know, I thought he just didn't want to smoke with Zach, but he was like, it's just going to be me and you, it's just going to be me and you. But today, it's Monday. I walked down the street and he saw me. And we went into the woods, and then before we went into the woods, he was like, hey, you want to play baseball after we get high? And I was like, yeah, let's play baseball. You want to go get Zach afterwards? And he was like, hell yeah, bro. So I went back home, I grabbed my baseball bat. I go back in the woods, I have a seat, and I start to roll the, and then he's like, I gotta use the bathroom. And he went behind the tree, and he was like, don't look, because my dick is out. I'm not gay, I'm not gonna look anyways. But all of a sudden, he was like, ah, and I heard like, he was moving, because it's the woods. And I was like, what's wrong? He was like, an ant just bit my dick. Don't turn around, I still got my dick out, I'm still gotta go pee. But right when he said that, he turned around, he was above me with the baseball bat. I didn't even think, bro. I just put my arm up, and he did like a little thing like that and tried to hit me, and I put my hand up, and the only place he hit me with the baseball bat was right here, and it wasn't even that hard. And when I grabbed the baseball bat like this, I disarmed him, and he had these blue gloves on, and he was like, I took the baseball bat from me, threw his gloves down, and then he hit me. And he was like, now you're going to fucking get it. And then I bet when he punched me, that's when I got mad, and the baseball bat started. And I didn't stop until I saw blood. The last thing I remember was, like, just looking at him. And there was blood everywhere, and I was like, why didn't I just put him in a headlock or something? Why did I hit him with the baseball bat? And then I got real queasy, and I just ran out in the woods and throw up, screaming for help.
From the start, this interrogation manages to stand out. Most suspects hesitate, deflect, or deny when confronted with a situation, but Dylan confesses almost immediately. Rather than bringing clarity, his quick admission deepens the mystery of what truly happened in the woods.
I've got nothing to hide. I just feel really guilty because I could have did. When I left the woods, he looked like he was hurt really bad. And I know I could have did something else not to hurt him that bad.
Okay.
Just couldn't stop.
Prior to last Wednesday when you saw him, I know you said 2 years ago you guys got in this fight.
We were fine. We're fine.
Was everything good after that?
We're fine. We don't barely talk unless we see each other walking, because we barely text each other, but we were fine. Like every time I seen him, he was like, what's up? Nothing was wrong.
Dylan's version of events is simple. Two friends meeting up to get high and talk until one of them thinks of killing the other. But why would Giovanni suddenly try to kill Dylan?
And then you're in the process of rolling the...
No, I was breaking it up, like going like this with both my hands and trying to like lick it. And when I heard him say, an ant bit me, I have to move. And I was like turning around. He was like, don't look, my dick's still out. But when he said that, his foot was like right next to my back. And then I heard the bat get up from the ground. And then he went to hit me. I put this arm up just like this to block, went like that, grabbed his arm. And he punched me in the face, and when he punched me in the face, he backed up. I had the bat in my hand. He looked at me, and he just went like this with the gloves. You're about to get it. And then that's when he stuck me, and then the rest is just like, you already know.
On the surface, Dylan's reenactments of the crime seem to suggest self-defense. He claims Giovanni hit him first, but there's a glaring issue. Dylan has no visible injuries to back up his story.
How many times did he hit you?
He hit me twice. Once with the bat, and then once with this fist.
Standing above you with the bat coming down, was he behind where you're sitting, so you're looking straight up, or did you turn and he's kind of off to the side?
He was, at first, when he picked the bat, I turned around and went like this. And when I got about right here, I noticed the bat was like above my head, like that. And then when I got all the way around here, I guess is when he like tried to get me or somewhere right here, because that's when all of a sudden it just came down. I put this up, and I just grabbed it, and then when I got up, he stuck me. And when he stuck me, he let go of the bat, so I was like all backing up forward. And I was like, bro, what's your problem? He just went, now you're gonna fucking get it. And I was like, what is your problem? What is your problem? And then he hit me again, right here.
So was he wearing those blue gloves when he first had the bat and went to hit you?
When he first had the bat, he had the gloves on. But when they disarmed the glove and he punched me, he took the gloves off. Like he was about to, like, you know what I'm saying? He just went like that and just started coming at me like a crazy person.
And then as he started coming at you, what did you do?
I put my left foot in the back and just hit him right here. And then once I saw that, I just kept hitting him.
With the bat or with your fist?
I just hit him with the bat. Okay. Hit him in the head. He was like dazed. He looked like when one of them boxers, like out of breath. And then like when I hit him, I just got so mad and I just kept. And then like he hit the ground and I gave him like one more big one and I was like, and then all of a sudden it just came flooding at me like, what did I just do?
The inconsistencies in Dylan's statements were playing against him.
So once you took the bat, he punched you, and you hit him with the bat and hit him.
No, when he punched me, that's when I was like, what the f*** are you doing? And he was like,
threw the gloves down.
And then when he came at me, I just went, whoa. And then he was all dazed.
When he came at you, how did he come at you?
One hand up in the back like this, and he was just coming at me like this, like running.
Like he was gonna.
Like maybe he was gonna like maybe punch me and then try to tackle me.
Okay. About how far was he when he threw the gloves off and started coming at you?
Not far.
Now, when you were going after him, did you have the urge like you wanted to kill him, or just what? I mean,
I wanted to kill him.
You did?
Because I thought he was gonna kill me.
It's evident that Dylan is either deeply regretful or performing the act of his life to portray himself as a victim. But the detective dives into every detail, even probing into how Giovanni died to gauge the depth of Dylan's remorse.
Once you hit him that one time and he kind of dazed, like not like he was all there, and then you kept going to hit him. Do you know about how many times you hit him until he went down, or did he fall down after the first strike after that?
He fell maybe after the first 6 strikes.
Okay.
But when he was on the ground, I was still so mad. I'm not going to lie, sir. I was trying to make it to where I didn't hear him breathe anymore. But then I started hearing this noise after I hit him in the head. He was like something like water, but there was no blood coming out of his mouth. And then I was like, oh my God, what did I just do?
After the first hit, or when he was on the ground?
After I was done, he was just laying on his back. And his blood all over his face.
When he was on the ground, do you remember about how many times you hit him then?
Only 3, because that's when he hit the ground is when it was just like a shut-off switch.
So you estimate about 6, and then he went down, and then another 3, and that was it?
Yes. I looked at him, and I said, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have did that. I should have just put him in a headlock. And immediately, like once I started to snap back to reality, I ran out the woods screaming help. I started throwing up. I picked up the gloves like a freaking idiot and ran outside with them, showing the guy that saying that was trying to help me out. I was saying these are the gloves he was wearing. He was like, "What are you doing?" Put them down. He made me drop them on the thing, and then I saw my dad coming home from work, and I just took off towards the house.
Okay. I'm
scared.
Do you remember where you
in trouble?
Well, I understand, and that's why it's important to be honest with me and. My job is to figure out what happened.
I didn't delete any of this. So you can go on there where I was like, hey, it's going to be me and you today, like you said. I didn't delete none of my text messages. But I just don't want to get in trouble because my dad was like, you could have did something else, you big fighter. I mean, I know what he looked like before I left.
Do you know what you did? Where you dropped with the bat?
When I looked at him, I went like this. And threw the bat, and I think the bat maybe like landed at an angle sideways at him.
So near his body?
Yeah, near. What? His body? He's dead?
Yes, sir, he is. He is. I'm sorry to have to tell you that, but yes, Giovanni did pass.
He was my friend.
I understand that, and I understand this is very, very tough and stressful.
He was my friend.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm sorry I have to tell you that.
Are you for real?
Yes,
You're
sir.
not playing.
I'm not playing with you.
His tears might suggest regret, but given his prior behavior, the detectives are bound to suspect that Dylan is acting. By playing along, they aim to extract a confession.
Have you ever gone and killed anything else, like animals or anything before?
The only thing that I used to kill were lizards.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because my grandpa used to give me 50 cents each.
Kind of like a pest management kind of thing, kind of just before the lizard population gets too big, your grandpa would help you get that.
Yeah, but that's it.
Animals like that.
We used to kill cats.
About how long ago was that?
When I was like 11. And back, like, for a very short time when I was getting bullied, but that was like almost 5 years ago.
Okay, so about 11.
It was mainly, I only did that stuff when I was getting bullied or like
Mm-hmm.
I had something really stressed. I haven't did any of that stuff in like a long time.
So when bullied or stressed?
Yes.
Okay, do you know about how many you killed?
Only two. Only two. I don't have the stomach, man.
Mm-hmm. Do you know whose cats they were? Were they strays or like?
Probably just strays.
Okay.
I don't know. It was so long ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't even like I was getting satisfaction out of it. I would just be mad, and like I would see a cat, and I would kick it really hard, and it would just stop moving.
Mm-hmm. So whenever those two that you did kill, that you just kicked them?
I kicked one, and the other one I punched. But I usually have good self-control. The only thing that I haven't been able to freaking cope with is this stupid anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Have you been diagnosed with anxiety?
Yes.
Dylan's story of killing animals without reason is both chilling and troubling. At just 16, he exhibits behavior that could indicate psychopathic tendencies, or was he simply channeling his frustration through these acts? Could this pattern explain why he killed Giovanni? Dylan must now decide, did he kill Giovanni out of anger, self-defense, or in a moment of panic? The detectives, however, are no longer buying into his shifting explanations. Detectives now know the stakes. Each inconsistency in Dylan's story exposes a darker truth, and as the pieces come together, the real story of what happened in the woods begins to emerge, and it is a story more shocking than anyone could have imagined.
Some of the things that they're seeing at the scene isn't really adding up with, what you told me. Well, the whole thing with the gloves, for you to grab the gloves and run out after realizing that you just beat the crap out of Gio.
At this point, it almost becomes comical every time Dylan opens his mouth. He reveals another lie, further proving that he has been dishonest from the very start. It's as if he's delusional and is convinced he's outsmarting the detectives and will somehow walk away free.
As soon as I freaking got out the woods and called 911, I was like, watch some crazy crap happen and all this turn around on me. I knew this was going to happen.
Well, when you say you knew it would happen, what do you mean you knew it would happen?
Like, as soon as I was freaking done, when I was done going outside the woods, I was like, oh my God, watch it all be my fault. Watch me be the only one to get in trouble. Watch me to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I knew this was going to happen.
Well, who else would be in trouble if it wasn't just you?
I didn't know Gio was going to die. I thought he would freaking be alive. And then when he got back up, y'all could arrest him for coming at me. But I didn't know he was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's dead, I have no way to prove my innocence. No way at all. What am I going to do?
Well,
this anxiety is breaking me. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to live.
Earlier you said there was the past couple months have been just one thing after. What's been going on the past couple months? Him lying there, he didn't even look the same. Right? His face is unrecognizable. His parents are not going to be able to have an open casket viewing for him because that's how bad his face is.
You don't think I feel bad about that, man?
Well, I can't say what you think or what you feel because I'm not you.
I feel bad. I feel like I feel like I'm a monster. I feel like I don't deserve to live.
Because, I mean, you felt that bad. I haven't touched it. I haven't held it. I don't know how heavy it is, but, I mean, that is dented. Like, flattened. From earlier, you said your blood started boiling, and you had that rage, if you would, of, like, I want to kill him. And that's when the swinging started. Am I right? Is that accurate? I mean...
Yes.
And have you ever felt that before?
Yes.
When?
Almost every fight that I've been in, but I've never had a baseball bat to hit somebody with. It's always been my fists.
How many fights have you been in the past, if you had to guess? I know.
In the past year, I've been doing really good. I haven't gotten, except this. This is the first altercation I've been in since 2015.
Okay, and is that when you were...
I got arrested for the fight with him.
What about in the past, say, 5 years? How many fights have you gotten into, if you had to guess?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Which ones are those?
A verbal argument with my dad, and Gio. This one. I'm telling you, I'm not a bad kid. I don't kill people.
The verbal argument with your dad, did you get arrested for that one?
Yes.
What did you get arrested for?
I pushed him.
Okay, so it was a physical altercation.
Yeah, like it was verbal, and then my anxiety. I'm telling you, my anxiety is killing me, bro. I don't know how much longer. It's killing me.
So with the incident with your dad, did you have, during that argument that at some point you allegedly pushed him? Is that when, did you have the same feeling of like that rage inside?
Same feeling. I just want. It was like he was trying. I was having an anxiety attack, a really bad one, and he didn't like do what y'all do. You know how y'all talk to me before y'all touch me. He was like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, "Touch me." Just had an anxiety attack. I didn't want to tell him that I had anxiety. I still don't want to admit that I have this anxiety because I've never had it.
Now, this explains why his father thinks that Dylan might be lying and actually murdered Giovanni, and not as a mere accident. But if that is so, what's the motive? Wait till you see the next clip, and it will reveal some of the cards he's been playing with so far.
You heard voices or anything in the past? Like someone talking to you that's not there?
Yes.
Have you told anyone about that?
No.
Well, how long ago was that?
It doesn't go away.
Talk to me about that. Why not?
Because they say bad things, but I don't do them.
Like what?
Not just killing.
What things have they told you to do that you haven't done?
I don't.
Did they tell you to do anything to Gio?
Wait. Give me something.
Yeah. You want something to drink?
No.
I'm a different guy. You're Dylan, right?
Sir.
Dylan?
Yes, sir.
Now talk to me for a minute. Let's just talk for a minute. It's okay. Just take a couple deep breaths.
I can't take it anymore.
Just take a couple deep breaths, all right? You've been talking to the detective here for a little while, right?
Yes, sir.
You told him some things about what happened out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I kind of, he was saying that there was some bat involved or something like that? A bat?
Yes, sir.
Where'd this bat come from?
My house.
Your house? So you brought it over there with you?
Yes, he asked me to because he wanted to play football after we got done smoking.
So play football with the bat?
No, not football, baseball.
It's baseball. Where was the ball at?
He didn't even show it to me. There was no baseball.
There was no baseball? So what do you think? What do you think he would come down there with no ball if he wanted to play baseball?
I don't know. People ask me to go smoke in the woods all the time. He said he wanted to smoke in the woods with me and him. I didn't think nothing of it. That's all I did.
So how did he ask you to bring the bat?
When we got to the woods, he asked to bring the bat because after we get done smoking, he wanted to go get Zach and play baseball.
So you got to the woods together?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
And then you left?
I left by myself to go get the bat, yes.
And what was he doing when you left?
I have no idea. In the woods by himself? No, he was in the woods. He
was in the woods? Okay. And I take it that these gloves that you had on, some rubber gloves?
I didn't have any gloves. I didn't have them on. I picked them up.
You picked them up? But
Yes.
you didn't have them on?
No, I swear he had them on.
Right?
I know, but I wasn't mad at him.
But you found out when? Just a couple days ago, right?
No,
It's like 2 days ago you found out.
like a week.
Okay, well, it was in the last few days, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is a girl you pretty much admire her, don't you?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, she's a nice girl. You
I
love her? You love her?
She
So you
doesn't
were,
love me back.
and you and, what's his nickname?
You?
Gio. You and Gio, y'all friends? But y'all had some problems in the past, right?
Yes, sir.
And y'all had some problems recently. Haven't you?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna let you know, I've talked to a lot of people. And Dylan, listen, look at me. I'm not sitting here saying you're a bad guy or anything. You were texting him and writing him to come down there, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you were upset with him, weren't you?
Yes,
I know
sir.
that, huh?
Yes, sir.
And when you got down there, y'all started talking. And he probably said some stuff about Haley that you didn't like, and you lost control, didn't you?
Up till now, there was no mention of Dylan being upset with Giovanni. He was too busy with playing the part of someone who might as well be delusional. But as soon as the police mentioned Haley, there was a subtle shift in demeanor. What does Haley have to do with anything? The answer lies in here.
Not saying you're a bad guy, but you lost control, didn't you?
I love her.
So, is this all about her?
No.
I mean, listen. How old are you now?
16.
I was 16 a long time ago, but I was 16. And I had a girlfriend at 16, and this guy took her away from me because I felt that I wasn't good enough. I was upset. And I probably could have freaked out on the guy, but I didn't have the opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because emotions get big when you love somebody, don't they? Emotions get big, and they can kind of make you do things that you probably wouldn't do otherwise. And I think that I don't know you that well, but you're, how old now, 16? I know you're capable of telling the truth, aren't you?
I want to tell you the rest.
Just listen, we're not here to judge you. Hey, Dylan, I'm not here to judge you at all, okay? I'm telling you that right now. I'm not here to judge you. Huh?
Because he did that to Haley, and he said some stuff about Haley.
What was he saying about her?
Just, he brought me to the spot where he told me.
Oh, where the spot where this happened? He said he f***ed her in the woods?
No.
Where?
He brought me maybe last Sunday or Saturday, he brought me to this spot in the woods. We were gonna smoke.
Uh-huh.
And he had me sit down in this one spot, and he started laughing at me. Because I just told him that I feel like I'm in love with Haley. And he was like, well, Haley, and I was like, I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. And then he pointed right at the spot I was sitting at, and he was like, hey, Haley, right there.
So he was like trying to rub it in your face. And that upset you, didn't it? So you was going to get even with him on that, wasn't you?
No, I wasn't planning on killing him. I just wanted to talk to him.
So what happened when y'all got out there today and started talking? The more you looked at him, the more it upset you, didn't it? The way he rubbed that in your face?
Yes.
And you had that bat down there just in case?
Yes.
So you decided to, you was, because the way he was hit, I could tell you were upset. Because I've been doing this for a long time. And you can tell when somebody just gets hit one time or twice. He was hit over and over again because you were upset. Not saying that you're a bad person or that you're going to do this to everybody else or whatever. You're even going to do it again.
Didn't mean to do it, you know. Didn't mean to.
But you were in such a rage, wasn't you?
I just wanted to talk.
But you got in a rage, didn't you?
But he couldn't keep his mouth shut about all the shit that he did to me.
Okay. Now the bottom line is, he didn't attack you, did he?
No.
You were upset because of what he was rubbing in your face about Haley, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
And when he got down there, you had that bat, and y'all started talking. Did he say anything else about her today?
Yes.
What did he say?
that I don't know why you're getting so mad. You should not even like her anymore because I f***ed her. And I was like, well, that's not true love. And he was like, shut up, Dylan. You don't even know what true love is.
So then what happened then?
He made a comment about my mental problems.
And what did that do? Did that upset you?
Yes.
And what'd you do then?
I killed him.
Now go through the steps if you can remember how this went down.
He said what I just told you.
And then what did you do first with the bat?
I said quit talking about the girl I love and my mental health problems, because he's the only one besides you I just told about the voices. My parents don't even know. He's the only one who knows about when I go to sleep, I have these bad dreams. He's the only one who knows. He was the only one I thought I trusted, and then he throws it all in my face right after he said that the girl that I love.
Mm-hmm.
He was treating me like garbage, so I treated him like a piece of garbage.
So what was the first thing you did with the bat?
I pointed at him and told him to stop talking about me. And he didn't look like he was scared. He was like, Dylan, quit being you know you're going to be you just put the bat down. And that started to piss me off. So I took another step further. And he said, what are you going to do? Because he hit me in the head with a bat. And then he pushed me. And then I hit him in the head with the bat.
What did he do when you hit him in the head?
He looked at me like he was really sorry for what he had did.
I mean, did he fall down or was he still standing?
He was still standing after a couple of hits.
Mm-hmm. So you had a couple of times when he was standing?
Yes.
In the head?
Yes.
And then what did you do?
When he hit the ground, I wanted to make sure he never talked bad about me again, so I hit him in the Adam's apple.
How was he laying?
On his back.
Okay. So you hit him in the throat area?
Yes.
And then what?
I realized what I had just done and how I f***ed up, and I threw everything down and ran out the woods and started throwing up, calling for help.
So did you hit him any more times in the face when he's on his back?
Once, that was it.
Dylan's every action seemed designed to avoid the inevitable truth. Just a week before the incident, he and Giovanni had already clashed over Haley. This conflict led Dylan to devise a deadly plan to remove his friend, the one he believed had betrayed him. On the day of the murder, he urged Giovanni to meet him in the woods, a familiar place for them. What Giovanni didn't know was that Dylan had already borrowed a baseball bat from a neighbor earlier, a chilling indication of his intentions. When the moment came, he struck Giovanni without mercy, leaving the scene pretending to seek help. While questions remain about his mental health claims, one thing is certain: Dylan won't be walking free again. During the trial, it was proved to be a premeditated plan, and Dylan Murray was found guilty. On December 19, 2019, he pleaded guilty by blaming his auditory hallucinations that he faced when he was 10. However, that was a futile attempt and was sentenced to 60 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 20 years of probation. Giovanni Diaz was only 15 years old, with dreams and a future that was tragically stolen from him. He wasn't just a victim, he was a son, a friend, a young man who deserved to grow up and live his life. His family is left to bear the unending pain of his loss, mourning the life and potential that was taken far too soon. It serves as a somber reminder of how fragile life is, especially when young lives intersect with unaddressed issues and impulsive choices. This case delves into the psyche of a troubled teen, revealing how unchecked aggression and untreated mental health struggles can spiral into tragedy. Could early intervention have changed Dylan's path? How responsible is society for steering troubled teens away from violence? The story raises complex questions that invite reflection. Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more cases that delve into the shadows of the human mind. Thank you for watching.